All right, hello you guys, and welcome back. We got another hot update coming at you right now. So this is going to be for version 0417, and happy 2024 to everyone. I hope you had a great holiday and a happy new year. And I hope that this is a great year for all of us. So we have a lot of really cool stuff that is new and exciting in the game. And let's see, what do we have here? I'm going to just go by my list. First thing I want to show you is that we have all new three-dimensional kicker holes now, finally. So that is a very exciting thing. And I have just this little wire wall, not a wire, but a little wall here. So I'm going to use that to collect the balls for this kicker hole. Now, what's kind of fun about the kicker holes is that they they actually do cut holes into the playfield in the lower playfield, and they do work in the upper playfields as well. There's a caveat to that, though, that I'll show you, because they do hang down below the surface of the upper playfield, and you should keep that in mind. But here's how this works. So we've just routed in a hole with the brand new little kicker right there. So it is a 3D object. Whoops! It is a three-dimensional object, and when you move it, it does route. So if we move it over here, you can see there is an actual hole there now, and I'm just going to put that there. It doesn't make the sounds when you rotate it. Let's see, but we will put an option in settings to turn off those sounds if you don't like them. We're going to add construction sounds to the game, so that'll just make it more immersive. But if you don't like those, you can always turn them off. So I'm going to add a ball spawner. I'm going to put that at about 7, and let's just save that and go check out how the kicker holes operate. Now we're in play mode, and let's see if I can. There we go. So you can see it now. It behaves just like that's a little bit too good of a loop. You can see though now that it behaves just like a kicker hole, and it is a collider. It has proper collision, so everything is as realistic as it can be. Now we have not animated the kicker itself, so when the balls go in there, it looks like it's kicking it out, but it's not actually animated or anything. But you can see that the balls genuinely do land into the kicker, and there's a little bit of randomness like in a real kicker hole would be. So that is that. We also have modeled the other version, the vertical. So you see now that's also three-dimensional. And we'll save that. And that is the vertical popper, or the popper upper. I'm not sure why the ball is spinning like that. That's interesting. It wasn't doing that before. That's interesting. Okay, so anyway, you can see that those are functional and nice and three-dimensional. Now, another thing that we've done is we've improved the upper playfield a lot. So if you go to this icon here and you click this, this is now the upper playfield piece. So let me show you what that looks like and how that operates. Oh yeah, and if you want the grid still works on everything. So we can just grab the corner and set up a nice square piece right there. Oops. And then we can turn the grid off by pressing the correct button. I was pressing the F keys instead of the number 5 key, which turns the grid on or off. Okay, so if you want to put objects up on the second playfield, it's best to go ahead and turn upper playfield mode on. And you can do that with the 4 key. You can toggle that. So the number 4 key on your keyboard. And now another improvement that we've made is that now when you're in upper playfield mode and you spawn an object, it automatically spawns up there to that, to the second playfield. So I'm just going to put, I don't really want that, but I'm going to put that right there, and I'll put a couple of these here, like so. And now I'm going to add a kicker hole. And as you can see, it puts it right there in the right correct spot. I'm just going to turn this back around so it'll kick it back out. And let's give that 4 is good. Well, let's give it a 6. Yeah, that's fine. Let's grab a ramp. Whoops, we don't want that on the second level. So we'll put it there. And now we'll move this guy over here. And since I don't want that to bounce straight out of there, we'll give it a little angle. Now, by the bottom of that, you can see that the kicker hole does hang down below the playfield slightly. So you just got to keep that in mind. So let's save that and take a look at how that's going to work. Oh no, that turned a dark color, so we need to go fix that. Need to set this to be the right color. We'll fix that. That should default to a white instead of a gray. And that's my bad. Let's do 16. I was doing some testing when I made that, so this wood thing was very complicated to build. You can actually move this around, and you can see that it updates the holes as you move, but it does take a second so that it just is a little bit more optimal. But that's actually on the fly rebuilding that mesh. And what we plan to do for the game in the coming days or weeks is to also offer you the ability to just cut holes into the playfield. So you can make holes in the surfaces as much as you want, pretty much. Although you should keep in mind that the more holes you have in either of the playfield meshes, the more complicated the mesh will become, and that could degrade performance if it gets too complex. So just keep that in mind. You wouldn't want to have a whole bunch of holes, just strategically place them. But for instance, you could have a hole that instead of it being in a kicker, it could just drop through. So something to keep in mind. Or you could put one of these types of popper-uppers under a hole and run a habit trail through there. Stuff like that. That's what we want to do. So now that I've done that, I'm going to go show you that that works just like, oops. There, see? So works just like it should. Also, I want to point out too that you may or may not have noticed this in the last update. If you have the glass on, there is collision, but not if you take the glass off. So that's important to keep in mind. I don't think this is a deep cabinet. Let's find out. Yeah, that's a standard one. So if we go to the deep one and we save it, that may be high enough up the playfield to where the glass doesn't block it. Yeah, so just keep that in mind also, that your cabinet depth is a factor on how much you can, or how forward you can move an object. Now, another thing that we've added, which you may or may not have noticed in the last update, is the ability to move objects in the Z-axis. So if I select this, for example, now we have the Z-axis down here in the bottom. And so you could do like 32 or 55 and really put it up wherever you want to. And it will save like that. So let's just go back to play mode. And you'll see that when we spawn balls, it's spawning from up where we put the ball spawner. That's a lot of fun. All right, let's see what else. I apologize if I sound tired tonight. It is late, and I've been working on the game for, well, about 18 hours. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Actually, I got up at 6 o'clock on Saturday morning, and I started working, and I have been working on it. It is now midnight, so I'm very passionate about this game. Okay, so that is something that you can keep in mind. Something else I was wanting to do with the game as well is, and this will probably actually come in an upcoming update pretty soon, is to make it so that you can select the playfield itself and move it up or down. So you could really drop it down into the machine if you want to. And these guys you could change, but I gotta tell you right now, if you try to change this right now, it's gonna act very strange. So if we put that at like 40, it's gonna move up there. You'll have a kicker hole below it, but actually, you know what? That might not be too bad of an idea, because as I'm looking at this, I'm realizing I may be able to do something kind of cool here. Let's put one of these in here and do, let's see, do we have a straight up and down? Which one is our up and down one? I think it's that one, yeah. So theoretically, you could center that right over that popper upper. Oops. Let's give that a good amount. And we'll turn this so we can see it do its thing. And now if I move this over here. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I was thinking that would put a hole there. But that would be, this would have to be up on that level, so that wouldn't really work the way I'm thinking it should. So anyways, as you can see, you know, you can mess around with this and try to come up with some interesting ideas and whatnot. But we will make it so that these things work much better when they are aligned and whatnot. So for example, I'm trying to say this without stumbling around in my words or sounding confusing, but so as these guys have their own method of cutting holes in these surfaces, we'd like to do the same thing with these habitrails, for example. So anything that's a vertical like this where the ball could shoot it through there, the idea will be to have it so that you could put it over here and it would automatically carve a hole through the surface for you. So you won't even need to think about carving holes really for stuff like that. And we'll give you other options to where you can just carve a hole without any other components. So there will be like a holes option and stuff like that. So that'll open up a lot of options, at least for manipulating playfield things and whatnot. All right, so here's another thing that's pretty cool. Let me go open up this alien meadow. This is actually, you know what? That's not the version that I want to open. Let's open this one. This is our standard alien meadow. And I want to show you that now, one of the things that we've added if we go into logic mode is when you select one of these, it's going to show you connectors up and downstream now. So let's see, where's one that has those? Let's see. Trying to find some. Yeah, that's a good example. So this shows you up and downstream connections. Another thing now that we've added too in this update is if you press the N key, N as in Meadow, it will show you literally all of the logic connections on your Playfield all at once. So that is one way you can see them all if you want to. And if you turn your lights down, you can kind of see them a little bit better. They're slightly illuminated. And then you can just press the N key and, or just not press the N key, but just select another one and they'll disappear. So press N and they all show, and you can just press, click on one of the controllers and they'll go off. Also, as you may have noticed, we added this selection mode. So that way when you select stuff, it doesn't scooch around. If you're in, edit mode or whatever, things won't move on you. Okay, so some of the improvements we've made. But let's say you want to group a bunch of things together. I'm just going to select all these and I'm going to give them a name of group 1. And then I'm going to select all these objects. And let's see, I want to grab that decal. We'll call it group 1 also. This is group 1. Make that part of group 1. Okay, so all those objects are going to be part of group 1. So now when you hold down the left control key and you grab one of the objects, you can move them all at the same time, right? Oops, there's one that I missed. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you don't hold down the left control key, it will only move the object that you're holding on to. And as you can see, I can move it and let that go and grab the whole group as one unit. And if I'm still holding down the group left control key and do undo, it will undo it'll undo the moves for all of those objects. Also, whoops, I never grouped that. So let's group. That was my plan and I totally forgot to. All right, so if you grab just the one in a group, it will only highlight and move the one or rotate or whatever. But if you hold down the group button, it will now highlight all the objects in the group. So as you can see, I'm not sure why this one's not highlighting. So there's something up with this ramp. Not getting a highlight. I know why that is, so I just have to go in there and fix that. But anyways, you see how that's working. So now you can see all the objects that are in that group when you have them all selected. So that's just something to keep in mind. Another thing I wanted to show you was that logic controllers now connect correctly in the vertical axis. So let me turn this back. Well, yeah, I'll leave that on. So if I put one of these up here and we'll call it 1, and it's up here on the upper level, upper deck, I don't know what you want to call that. And we'll make another one and we'll call it 2. And if 2, targets number 1, you'll see now that these controllers go up and down and they will follow properly. So, if you have controllers on different levels and stuff, you can do that. Oh yeah, something else that we've set up, if your computer has more than one monitor connected, then when you open up the game in cabinet mode, it will open the back glass in a new process, and that will be an image that you can put on the second monitor to set it up for like a virtual pinball type setup, virtual cabinet. If you only have one monitor, then that extra process will not open, because some people were having an issue where it was opening up and preventing them from seeing the game. So that is that way. And if you have more than 2 monitors and you want a DMD window, that can open up on as well and be placed on the third display. But as I've said, I think before, we're probably not going to really be concerned with that since the DMD is actually included in the back glass. Sorry, it's later. For object duplication, we've added the power multiplier, so that gets duplicated now. So let's say you've got one of these guys, and you want that to have, oh, that should not, well, that's should say kicker power maybe or something, but that's fine. So if you want to duplicate one of these and you hit duplicate and you move that over, you'll see now that the power multiplier is actually duplicating with it. That was not duplicating before, so that is working. We've made minor improvements to performance in play and edit mode. We've fixed the loss of input when using the clear playfield option. So if you wanted to just remove all of these items on the playfield at once, that won't affect the back glass or cabinet or any of the other game settings. It only affects the playfield objects on the playfield. So if you want to remove all of these at one time, you can click that button there, the trash can, and you can clear it. Now, those are going to go away. Well, that's interesting. Maybe you can leave them there. Actually, they won't stay there. So this is something we'll have to fix, but I doubt that anybody's really going to run into this problem. Let's see. So if I save this now and we go to play, those will be gone because there are no kicker holes to drill holes for. But that would be what it would look like if you wanted to just have holes. So eventually we'll have just holes that you can put in there. Let's see. Oh yeah, we fixed the background color of these panels from changing. So these are supposed to change, but these panels were changing. This gray was changing to a lighter gray, etc. So we fixed that. Another thing that we fixed is if you have, for example, the default playfield texture selected and you would pick something different to go on there and then wanted to go back to default, previously you wouldn't be able to do that because of the way these were set up, but now that is working. So also you should know that you should click on the playfield and you can change the color even while there's an image on it there. So you'd want to just clear that to white to make that look right. So we can change these, and I can just go back to the Alien Meadow now. And that's true for all of these selectors. So that's just these guys. I don't know that these are... Yeah, oh yeah, those are working. Okay, cool. So we do have this option in here, but we haven't yet implemented it into the back or into the displays. That will be coming soon as well, so that you can use EM style displays in the back box if you want to. And we are also working on a DMD display. Let's see, do we have... That's... Okay, so as far as like this DMD here goes, we're going to set this up so that you can import any video file. So they'll probably be, I think, what are we using? MP4s, I believe. So you should be able to import any, or AVI. I don't remember. I can't remember which one we were using for the small one that appears in Twisted Circus. But that will be an option soon too. So you can put in any animations or videos that you want into the game. Similar to how we've done with the with this one. So you can see we did that one, and that operates the same as this Meteor Commander one over here. So you can see there that this is just a video file playing. So it's not actually the game playing or anything, but it's just a video running to make it look like, you know, like it's running. But these take up very little CPU or GPU, and we'll be able to set these up so that you can trigger the videos with logic controllers on the Playfield. So that'll be fully controllable, and you'll be able to move them around on the back glass like you can with the displays. So that'll be something coming up. Whoops, where am I? Okay. So you'll be able to move your video around just like you can grab these and move them. Also, you can grab these and move them, and you don't have to save the game. You don't have to do control save. If you don't want to, they'll save automatically when you move them. I think that's about it for now. We do have on the list here, logic controller indicator performance is improved. So I don't remember what that was exactly. We also have done a lot of small improvements here and there. And, well, that color makes it really hard to see the grid. The default for the Playfield is black. It should be white, actually, but that's just a strange thing that we're going to have to fix. So anyways, you guys, that is where we are right now with everything. And we should be, if you're watching this video, then go restart your Steam client, and you'll be able to see this update and enjoy it. Oh yeah. Did anybody find the Easter egg we put in here? I bet no one is going to find it. I'm going to give you a hint. It's over there in that corner. And it is a functional Easter egg. That'll be my second hint to give you. So it's a functional Easter egg. And there's nothing hidden in the scene that hasn't always been there. So it's not about finding a hidden object in the scene. It's about finding a hidden functionality in the scene. So I'll leave that as it is. And yeah. So, and it's not the Marco logos. We actually, I have done a lot of pinball machine restorations over the years. For about 13 years now, I think I've restored pinball machines and arcade games, and that is one of the reasons why I love building this video game so much. Is it's very similar to building and working on and restoring pinball machines. But I do want to say that Marco was always there and had the parts I needed, and I asked them if they wouldn't mind if I put their logo on some of these boxes. And they were kind enough to say, yeah, that's cool. So shout out to Marco Specialties. They're great. They're a family-owned business, and they're really, really great people. So thank you to them, and thank you to you guys for supporting this game. We've only had the game out in the wild since June of last year, and so our sweet game here is only maybe 7 months old now. I did start working on this game about a year ago, actually, just over a year ago. So it's been an idea that I wanted to do for a long time, having restored pinball machines and being a programmer and database admin and stuff like that for a good 30 years. I have wanted to build this game, and I got to be honest, it's just me. So I say we because my cats are always here to support me, and I have some cats, and they are awesome, and they're my team. And not a day goes by that I look at this game and kind of am surprised that I've done all this on my own. And I really do thrive on your support and your input and your feedback. I literally do work on the game 10 to 15, 16 hours a day. Usually I never take a day off. I am busting my behind working on this pretty much all the time. And I hope that you are as passionate about it as I am, and just keep enjoying it and making games. Remember, you can upload stuff to the Steam Workshop. So all you got to do is press that little button right there, save your changes. Whoops, save, and then you can click that and upload it to your Steam account and our Steam Workshop, and share your lovely, amazing tables with the world if you want to. And if you have ideas, just join our Steam discussions, our community board, or go to our Facebook page and do it there too. So until the next update, this is Anna, and I love you guys, and I hope that you have fun building your own pinball machines. See you later.